Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. All right, so Star Citizen DefenseCon is in effect, which day two manufacturer, but day three of DefenseCon is today. So in about 30 minutes or so, we should be getting the switch to Origin, which I know there are a few people that are looking to get the new ship, the M80. So which looked cool when I looked at it on the floor. So get a better look at it in a bit. But anyways, they have the Star Citizen Live for this DefenseCon came up yesterday. So let's take a look.
Hi YouTube, Jared here. You're watching the recorded version of the live stream that happened on Twitch just a couple hours ago. Well, we messed up pushing the record button, so the first couple minutes of that aren't here. So you're seeing this now. What you're seeing now was recorded after what you're about to see. So I can tell you what, I basically I know the future now. And I can tell you, it's terrible. It's just not very good.
At least Jared's honest.
So stop watching now. But if you want to brave the future anyway, keep watching. Welcome to Star Citizen Live DefenseCon Showcase, already in progress. And we'll try to do better next time.
This is now.
We decided to do a couple things to really differentiate it from Invictus, and one of those things is we revealed almost everything early. There was a big social media campaign about a week ago where we introduced all the ships coming this year. We were able to sneak interior peeks into the weekly newsletter. In case you're not subscribed to the weekly newsletter, you should do that. There's lots of good stuff in there every Friday. And then we were able to introduce the Odin in-game in the big giant hologram. That's floating above Area 18 on last Friday, I think.
As I've been in game
and now
and
we're
left
here
Area
doing
18,
this show.
I didn't even
we
look
are
at
live
the
on Twitch.
hologram.
We're going to go through almost all of the ships. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Wait,
Alberto has to sit in front of the broken panel. The panel broke like 20 minutes ago.
Did he say almost?
Just decided to stop working. So Alberto had a chair over there, but
That's fine.
how you doing, Alberto?
That's warm.
I want some of those models. Where do I get
the
those?
fire thing.
Just nobody will notice if you're sitting in front of it.
It's fine.
Okay, cool.
As long as I don't look edited in.
As long as you what?
As long as I don't look like I've been edited.
No, but you look like you have fire coming out your head every once in a
That's
while.
fine, that's fine.
That's right.
It would make it very easy to edit now because it's a completely black background behind them.
Oh, people
can green screen
people can
all
just
sorts
put
of
Alberto into anything. That's an option.
Don't give late ideas.
I mean,
Please.
someone had pointed out for Leah.
So let's meet some of the developers here who are joining us on this DefenseCon showcase. We'll start immediately to my left. John, tell everybody who you are, what you do.
My name's John Kerr. I'm the vehicle director here at Cloud Imperium.
Oh, and I like
Get to
those
look after
helmets.
all these people.
And they have a
around the world.
Robotech helmet.
So everything
a
is
Macross
ultimately
helmet.
your fault.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Immediately to John's left, Dan.
Hey, yeah, I'm one of the lead vehicle artists. Just recently we finished the Ironclad. That was one of the things that our team worked on.
Yeah. And my understanding is you're the only person on the vehicle team who makes
And the
ships.
kitty one, too.
Since
I've been trying to shake the reputation for years, but I'm just running with it now. Why not?
I mean, at this point, that's why you're the only artist here.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we got Willie.
Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Danks. I'm a senior vehicle content designer, so I do more of the sort of back-end hookups of ships and stuff like that. to make them actually
How exciting
work.
is that?
It's a lot of fun, although I'm basically an XML monkey.
I've always thought so.
Yeah, it shows.
Mattea.
Hello everyone, I'm Mattia, a senior vehicle game designer, and I'm an Excel monkey instead, because I do balance and features for the vehicle.
No, don't reveal that we still balance stuff in Excel. We're supposed to have these big, giant tools that do this in crazy databases. Don't expose the business like that.
It's Excel.
Mark.
Hi, Jared.
Hi. And finally, Ben. Ben, who are you and what do you do?
I'm one of the art directors at CRG. I look after weapons and vehicles.
Okay. And then what's going to differentiate this from more SCLs is we're going to have visuals. We're going to dive live into the editor and take a look at the ships coming. And helping us with that are two folks for the first half of the show that airs today. Will, your first SCL ever. Tell everybody who you are and what you do. That's your camera right there.
Hello, I'm Will. I'm a vehicle artist one. I joined about a year ago, and I have exclusively worked on the Ironclad in that time.
But you're going to help us look at all the ships today.
What's up, Will?
And then as Will goes through the Ironclad and the Assault and the M80 and the Starlight and the Tiburon, eventually we'll switch over to the other...
Alberto. Wait a second there.
You want to get closer? Is that what
What do you want to do on his lap? What's going on here?
For the camera.
It's Alberto. Oh, Alberto.
Hi, I'm Alberto, and I am the assistant vehicle
We fixed it.
art director.
No, it's not fixed. It's only partially fixed.
Oh, all right.
Partially fixed.
Shadow fixed.
Yeah, and I'm generally in charge of concept art and help Ben with the production of the vehicles in the spaceship department.
And after this year, he's going to be known as Mr. Odin. This thing's amazing. All right, so to get started, our first topic, for people who are watching live, hi everybody, we'll be taking questions live from the chat. So we're going to take a look at some of these ships, and if you've got questions, go ahead and dump them into the Twitch chat. You can see I got that going right here, so I can take a look at what you're doing. Hi, Mom. Where's the Liberator? Not at DefenseCon. And we're going to start off today with a look at the Ironclad. So, Will, you got that fired up for us?
Yes, here it is. I guess we'll start with the exterior.
Okay. So, Ben, John, introduce us here. What, most people know what the Ironclad is. The Ironclad is a heavy freight. It can carry something like 2,000 SCU.
2,000 and something.
I think it's 2,204.
Yeah.
How do you end up with 2,204?
It's because everything ends up as like divisible by 8 or 4s or 2s, powers of 2s, usually.
Okay. So let's look around the... what's that there?
I'd say, and we wanted space for mules.
Mules, all right. So let's look around the exterior. Will, why don't you take us around and Ben, tell us what we're looking at here.
Yes, this is the new ship from Drake. It's big, it's square, it's got a lot of engines. It feels very Drake. I think there we go. I think there's a lot of it's also got the command module, which is new feature, detachable life raft.
Tons of bugs.
Did we settle on? I think in the end, that allows you to kind of get out of dodging in case you need to get out quickly from your cargo. I think the defining features are obviously the massive cargo bay at the front and the massive engines at the rear. I think.
What happened to the rest of the door there?
So we're in editor at the moment, not in game mode. So we are playing animations slightly separately to how you would normally do it in game mode. So we've used a few kind of internal tricks to make it so that we don't have to kind of drop into game and run around the planet and be able to show it off in the best kind of light that we can. I think, the interior of the ship is obviously dominated by the kind of cargo hold. But I think the rest of the ship kind of holds a lot of nice, fun, Drake feeling visuals. This is the operations deck. Here you can kind of see out over your kind of the bow of the vehicle. Access to your tracked beams, open and close your door. Really nice kind of viewing platform out over the ship.
Remote turrets.
Remote turrets, yep. And on the Assault, we've got the other remote turrets.
The more remote turrets.
Yep. And I think also like just visually, it's one of the kind of nice areas of the vehicle where you kind of can get that connection between the exterior and the interior. I think the big kind of bulkhead that runs through it is very nice, very fancy.
Ben, Mark, who's the Ironclad for? Like, what kind of player is going to consider the Ironclad here? Who do we make this for?
I mean,
You said Mark, you're looking at
we
me.
think
I said Mark and John. Did I say Mark and John?
haulers,
Better
but-
Mark.
Oh, I don't know. I've never had this many people here.
It's
Yeah.
to be blunt, it's
It's
showing
cool,
a lot of
but-
cargo. They want a ship that's relatively durable,
Okay.
and they
What's that?
like Drake has lots of guns.
Yeah, because Drake ostensibly market this as a cargo manufacturer, but we all know what Drake tends to get up to.
Excuse
So
me. Yeah.
sometimes the cargo's not as legit as it should be, or maybe the cargo is cargo you've got to deliver pain to other people.
Maybe the cargo is someone else's ship.
Maybe the cargo is someone else. So
I wasn't going to go there, John, but...
but yeah, it sort of caters to that. And externally, at least, I think it's pretty true to the concept. We did make some changes to it. Dan begged for an extra secret entrance into the top of it.
Ridiculous. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a few, like traversal was like such a massive thing for this ship, like versus like the concept I remember. And with the signage as well, I remember when we worked on the Polaris, one of the key pieces of feedback was that the signage wasn't like as good as it could be. And obviously we went back and edited that a bit, but with this ship...
We had the stairs around the other way as well, didn't we?
Yeah, the stairs have flipped. I believe the elevator was added as well.
Yeah, when we actually got it in, started running around it, once we actually started putting the block out together, we made a few changes just so it felt a bit more natural, because there was a lot of like back and forth in hard 90 and hard 180 degrees that people were having to do as they were walking around. So we softened a lot of the corners, put 45s in.
Yeah, like here the wall got knocked in, so this became like an open area here, which I think's really helped differentiate the different decks, which is obviously something that we tried really hard to do.
Yeah.
Each of them you should always like know roughly where you are, and when you're in a modular kit, because this is like one of the most modular ships we've ever made, obviously it's
That's
important
the
that you...
developer modularity. You
Yeah.
always have to specify.
Oh, yeah,
that
true,
There's
right.
player-facing modularity, and then there's the method in which we make our ships.
Yeah, so like when we talk about developer modularity, what we mean is how the asset pack that you kind of use to author the vehicles. So let's say you have like a wall that's like 2 meters long. It doesn't make sense to model every single wall 2 times in the same way that if you were to make a car, you wouldn't 3D model every single wheel again. You'd want to duplicate it. So we kind of have this base layer of modularity of our assets underneath, and then we set on top of that these extra assets that kind of make each of the spaces feel different. And it was really important for us to be able to make it so no matter where you were stood in the ship, you didn't feel lost and you were able to quickly orient yourself. I get the first time you're in it, it might be a little bit, it's a big ship, you're not going to know exactly where you're going,
where am I?
but it shouldn't take long to
That's
establish
the
that.
kind of like the sense of exploration, though, isn't it? Like the first time you enter a ship, you kind of want to explore it.
Yeah,
you don't necessarily kind of just want to be like, I go in it and I know exactly what's going on. So I think that's kind of part of the charm of these bigger ships, is that you do need to explore them a little bit. Obviously, like you say, having navigation is an important kind of user experience kind of thing that we need to try and improve. Obviously, we've got the mini map as well, which helps a lot with that sort of stuff. But I think you
shouldn't have to rely on that.
You shouldn't have to rely on that, and I think as you're heading towards engineering, even though you're in a corridor, you want to start seeing those kind of like engineering-y kind of elements kind of calling out and
bleeding into the room.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like it's too kind of stale. And then when you get up to like habitation and stuff, you want things to be a little bit more clad, a little bit more refined, and
Oh, Will, slow down. You're in a race.
Sorry.
So I know we're jumping around lots of different topics. So,
Let's go take a look at the command module. There's a number of questions in the chat about why the command module is such a critical weak point of the ship. What do we say to that?
It depends what... I've seen a lot of discourse about it being like artificially weak, which I think is not...
It's not intended.
Is not intended. It should be sort of passing damage through to the main ship rather than killing everything. But there is like some intent, like design-wise. Like, number one question everyone always has about the Ironclad is, why can't I fly it from the main bit? And that's never been the idea with this ship. It has been you have like this main block of a ship, same with the Caterpillar, and the command module gives you that functionality to fly around. That's the sort of USP of these sort of ships is it's not the same as every other ship.
Right. There's always this assumption that you're trying to make every single ship be the ultimate ship, and it's not. The ships are supposed to have certain trade-offs. Certain, you get this, but you lose this and stuff.
If you don't like it, that's fine.
There's 200 some odd other ships out there, right? The command module is interesting because it is, for all intents and purposes, a standalone craft. Yeah. It can do everything. It can do everything a standalone ship can do. It can go to quantum. Everything. There was some confusion internally earlier. People kept referring to it as a parasite ship, and I'm like, no. If anything, the main hull is the parasite because it needs the command module to survive, not the other way around.
More like a symbiote, I guess, but
So as far as it being a critical weak point, that's something with the damage not being passed in.
Yeah, no, simply it's a bug. that simple. What is going to happen in live instead, or when we're going to fix it, is that, and the intention with the feature itself is for the command module to not be a critical part. Clearly for gameplay purposes, right? Because you don't want a very big, durable ship like the Ironclad should be, being able to get, shot down by whoever with the command module being destroyed in like very, very few shots, because clearly the size difference is enormous, right? So yeah, the damage is going to be passed on to the ship of the Ironclad specifically, or the Caterpillar, depending on which one you're attached to.
The module
and all the damage to the component itself would be passed to the
It is a weak point,
Ironclad
because
as
if
well.
you
So
target that
everything inside the
module and
command
destroy that
will be in a
module,
dormant state, so to say.
and ships
So
up for
yeah,
grabs.
basically the damage is going to be passed on to the main body.
Does that allow you to, when it does detach, have a suitable...
Yeah, exactly. A suitable raft that you
Yeah.
can, immediately go away and flee from it. The cool stuff is that you can also trigger the self-destruction and then leave the ship and then flew out the command module. Yeah. So I found with that.
Yeah, just
Oh no, you're stealing my goods.
so the short answer is that that damage is supposed to be passed on to the main hull,
Yes.
and it's just not at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
So it'll be addressed.
Yeah, as soon as possible. I think we already have a fix in live for the hot fix, but as always, tentative
Yeah,
fixes.
there'll be there should be a new series of fixes going out on Tuesday of next week that address a couple other things with the item recovery stuff. So if we can, we'll loop that in there and stuff like that. So that should be better for people before DefenseCon.
It is clearly the intended gameplay dynamics that we want to reach, because clearly we don't want you to lose the ship, especially with the item recovery patch as well.
Talk to me about balancing the Ironclad. It's every obviously you don't want to just make the same ship across 200, and you want to avoid making the super crazy Superman ship every single time. What does the Ironclad have going for it that other cargo ships don't?
So we have a couple of things that are interesting, I would say, specifically. One of them being clearly the durability. It's meant to be a very durable cargo ship with very capable SCU cargo capacities. And for that reason, since we, at some point, we're going to have, for all the ships in our roster, the cargo had mastered the ship, we also need to make sure that the flight profile handles fine, and you can carry the cargo inside the planets or outside of the moon, and so on and so forth. And one of the trickiest things for us on the balance side for the Ironclad has been trying to find a sweet spot without compromising the overall balance performances, in order to still let you be able to lift off and with the full cargo hold, because on the Ironclad specifically, if you had cargo on your cargo grid, the mass of the ship will change and the flight maneuverability will change as well. So one of them was basically tuning the VTOL thrusters and activate them in a way that basically you can still lift off with a full cargo bay, loaded with all goods that you can have, but all in VTOL mode. So like when you're fully loaded, you have to use VTOLs, take off, go into go outside of the hangar, go outside of the planet, and then you can switch them off.
Gotcha. And so those are some strengths. What are the trade-offs? Why would somebody not want an Ironclad?
Well, clearly one of the trade-offs, as we mentioned, is the maneuverability. It's not a very maneuverable ship. It's somewhat of a brick. Most of you might say
it's absolutely a brick.
It's absolutely a brick.
That's how we started the model.
Yeah.
Just one large brick, the shoebox.
It was a box. So yeah, this is probably one of the main, one of the main drawdown of the ship, which for a cargo ship can be quite severe, because whenever you enter into maybe a dangerous area or you get attacked by pirates, clearly you maybe want that maneuverability and speed to kind of get yourself out of it, since you cannot outmaneuver those bad guys, right?
I suppose that's where that increased durability.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Also, clearly the components on the ships, on the shield side, are quite beefy as well, because they are size 3, right? Yeah. So you have capabilities to defend yourself and to let your turret gunners try to defend you as well. But clearly you cannot escape that easily. So you have to deal with it and somewhat fight.
So there's a number of questions about the lighting in the ships. Apparently there's some issues with the...
There is some issues with them. Drives me crazy. I love it when the first time people see ships, all the lighting's broken. It's brilliant.
I know, that's why we do it. What do you want to say about the broken lighting, Ben?
It's broken. it should be being fixed.
Okay.
Yeah, it infuriates me as much, if not more, than everyone else.
So you're saying it's not a design intent, it is like so.
There is design intent in there in terms of
it's supposed to be different.
Yeah, we lit the ironclad to be quite moody. I think one of the issues is it's starting in emergency mode, so it's lots of flashing red, which is absolutely not the intent, not what we plan for, unless your ship is in emergency state. There's lots of light panels around the ship to be able to kind of put it back to how it should be. Unfortunately, that isn't a particularly user-friendly way of getting your ship to look how it was intended to. But yeah, there's a bug. It's one of those things. Unfortunately, it didn't make the cut for 4.8, but it should be getting fixed.
It's not unique to the ironclad, though.
No,
it's something we're fighting with across.
Yeah, it's every ship.
Hold on. Jassel Newpar says, dude is infuriated that we're pointing out broken stuff on a ship people actually pay money for. That's classy. He's infuriated that it's broke.
Yeah.
Not infuriated that you're pointing it out.
Jeez.
He's having the same reaction to it you are, Jasper. These guys work hard. These guys work hard to make these ships as good as they can be. And unfortunately, as the nature of running a live environment in the middle of your development,
have to
sometimes things don't work. I mean, folks are
commentary
asking,
like that. It's like, come on, seriously.
Let's use this opportunity to talk about the mission system. Why not? We were going to do it at some point. The mission system is having some trouble. You obviously don't need me to tell you that if you tried to jump in. They're working on a hot fix to fix that right now. The patch that we mentioned that's supposed to be going out next Tuesday is not for hot fixes. That's an actual legitimate build and a patch. The hot fix for the emission system that will hopefully restore what's happening there, I don't have any more details about specifics, will go out as soon as somebody decides that it's ready to go out. But hot fixes, patches, different. There's also another question in there about why we release things in such states. And every time that question comes up quite often, and I go back to 2017 and the wait for 3.0. When we didn't have any new content for like 9 months because we waited and waited and waited and tried to get everything done, tried to get everything perfect, tried to get everything dialed in, and there was no new content for 9 months. I had that stupid beard because I said I wasn't going to shave until the patch came out.
I feel attacked.
That's not a... It was stupid for me, Mark.
Before my time.
Lovely on you.
Thank you, Gareth.
Lovely on you. Mine was all great. I look like a homeless person. But and even with all that work and even with all that waiting, it still had its issues. And the answer is there's no such thing as waiting until something's perfect. There's just not. So we put things out in the best condition that we can, and we continue to fix and we continue to push and we continue to develop afterwards, which is what the folks working on the hotfix for the mission system are doing right now, which is what you're doing with fixing the damage pass-through for the ironclad.
As much as I get frustrated with
shout out to them.
So,
a lot of this,
let's go ahead and take a quick look at
they
the
complain
ironclad
about
assault,
it
which
might
is
work as well.
mostly,
That
it's
is a
pretty
true
similar.
thing.
What's the differences between the ironclad
something
and the
is
ironclad
better
assault?
than nothing, I guess.
It's
And
got
if
more
they
guns,
just delayed stuff, and ever
one of
there'd
the
be
big
more
ones.
complaints.
It has a larger front door. So this was, again, something from the concept time. There was an intentional difference that the ironclad assault is designed for assault. So it's got a big enough front door on it that can fit tanks and ballistas, which the base ironclad can't. That can only really fit rover-sized vehicles. It trades off some cargo capacity, so it's 1,500 odd, which is actually, I think, pretty much what the original ironclad concept had. So they both had a glow up.
I think it's technically 14 something. I can't remember. I've been staring at stat sheets for so long.
I look at so many numbers.
But its big thing is it's now got the service bay.
Yes, the services bay, which
that.
is located in the rear third, which Will is handily looking at here.
The floor texture change.
Denoted by the floor texture difference and the half gantries above as like a...
And in an upgrade from the original concept, the concept was only supposed to be able to service ground vehicles.
But now just anything that can fit in the zone.
Yeah, you can fit it in the volume, then it will allow you to do it. And if you obviously have the supplies on board.
Yeah.
You need to have the supplies on board.
The ship hangar services is probably one of my favorite features that have come online with 4.8, because now you see all the people that do the crazy fleet operations and stuff, and now being able to being able to actually repair, refuel, and rearm on the go gives tremendous utility to things like the Idris, beyond just hey, I'm a railgunner. And even things like the 890 jump, and stuff, 890 jump, the 600i stuff, and as those continue to progress, they'll get more utility. The the vehicle services thing. It's repair, refuel your arm. You need RMC to do the repairs.
Yeah.
You need
The appropriate
fuel commodities.
fuel and commodities and ammo and countermeasures.
Yeah.
And,
And the ammo stuff is new for 4A, like actually having commodities that you
yes.
can store.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So you check that out. And then it's got the additional remote turrets.
Yeah. And some of them are upgunned to quad mounts instead of dual mounts as well.
It's got the jump seats at the front as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got a lot of jump seats. There was a question in chat about why so many jump seats.
Because people get knocked around when you're going into atmosphere, to be blunt. It was somewhere so that you don't have to sit inside your tank while you actually land, and you can go sit in the jump seats and not get thrown over.
Yeah, I think the question I saw was why so many jump seats if the crew is only for 6? And that's, like, the answer is it's not for the crew. It's for the people you're transporting.
Yeah, it's for your guests.
There was a question in here, Ben. They asked if you swapped, if you mixed up the paints. The paint for the suggestion was the paint for the Assault looks very industrial,
Oh, okay.
and the paint for the industrial one looks.
No, I think a giant bumblebee is quite an aggressive thing for the Assault. I think it's got a bit of a sting to it, isn't it?
The B ship was something else.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No,
Be here.
no, we liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great looking. For folks asking about the paints and stuff that are not showing up in game, yes, there is a separate issue. Basically, without going into too many details, we have crushed our concurrency records for this patch. The last 24 hours have seen a concurrency, the likes of which Star Citizen has
Never
not
seen.
seen before. And that's slowing down a number of systems. One, the mission system, and two, the ability for the entitlements to actually filter into the game. They are working on that. They are attributing more resources. The stuff that you, the paints and stuff that you purchase in the store will show up in the game. They're not lost or anything like that. It's all slow right now because there's just a lot of people knocking on the authentication and knocking on the entitlements right now.
Right.
But they're working on it. Which is also why somebody else. Let's just do a couple things. Let's get it out of the way. The free fly. You may have seen some notifications about the free fly that was supposed to start today. We are not going to start the free fly today, for no other reason than it would be wildly irresponsible of us to do it. Sure, we'd love the influx of people. Sure, we'd love the influx of it can only help the bottom line, but it's a terrible experience for our existing Star Citizen player base. So we are not going to start the free fly until the mission system cools down and we feel better about the experience for the existing players. And yeah, there's probably more elegant way
if
of
you're
saying
trying
that.
to attract new people, your game being ultra broken,
I feel like it's a good experience for everybody here. All right. So Ironclad Assault. Let's take a look at the Pit Bull. The Pit Bull was a nice little surprise.
So I'm going to stop this video right here. Now that they're done with the Ironclads, we'll come back and resume with the Pit Bulls and whatnot. Because I want to break this up, rather than being one long-ass video. I mean, again, hopefully someone will watch it, but if not, oh well. Anyway, I'm sorry. Am I slightly salty that hardly seem to have any viewers anymore? No, but then again, like I said, I'm not putting into it what most YouTubers do. So, that's on me. I can't say too much. But anyways, that is the first part of the DefenseCon Star Citizen Live. As always, you're free to share, subscribe. Hope you give me a like if you like my content. Those who have subscribed, thank you very much. Hit the notification button if you haven't, so you know when I drop something new, like the other parts of this. If you feel so inclined, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this first little bit that we've talked about. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Peace.